Now you really are starting to get into what the PGA Tour did and their response, which lucky enough we recorded today because they responded today. Now they're announcing everything tomorrow. Jay Monahan's going to announce. And like for the record, Jay Monahan has not really done anything at this point.
No, not really.
Like other than like talking a little bit during the RBC Canadian Open, like this is where it gets crazy. But it's been reported from a player in this mandatory players meeting on the PGA Tour up at the Travelers Championship that they're gonna change the whole scope of how they do the FedEx Cup. And basically, what we gathered was starting for next season, the fall series is basically not a part of the wraparound year. You're going to start the season at the beginning of 2023, play through basically the normal regular season where it ends now, and then the fall series will be an 8-event series, seems very similar to something else, awarding winners $20 million purses. Like that's the purse. It's very similar to LIV Golf again.
Yep.
And that's going to be the top 50 players over the course of the FedEx Cup will earn those spots. The other guys who don't earn top 50 will then be battling it out somehow for their card. They're still flushing out the details, kind of like the Corn Ferry Tour, blah, blah, blah.
Which is insane to think about.
Yeah, and that one I think like probably 50 through or 51 through like 125 will still, no matter what, get status, but you're going to be playing for better status. I don't know. They'll figure those things out. If you give more access for younger guys to come up and take away some of these like guys who have been on the tour for a while but like really don't do anything, I'll be all for that. But we'll wait to see how that stuff is. And again, Jay has to make an announcement. This is more reported. It was an anonymous player in the ESPN article I read, but he was basically like, this is the most attentive players have really been in these types of meetings. So I'm curious to see what it is, but what's your initial thoughts on basically very similar model to what LIV is? There's just no team aspect of it.
Yeah, I think it's kind of good getting rid of the wraparound season for the most part. I think not like, obviously we love golf. We like golf to a certain, there's no hiding the fact that we enjoy the game of golf, right? But I think we can both agree that there doesn't need to be from essentially they're like, if you take out like the wraparound and how it works, like essentially like from January to December, there's always golf that matters technically, besides maybe a little bit of December for like during the holidays there. But from that standpoint, you don't always need, like, there's a reason that a lot of these like sports going off season kind of built, like gives you a time off to kind of breathe and get you the need and want to bring that back. Now, I do think the kind of new golf series or playoff series or however this is going to iron out, it is a totally different aspect. But like, it's funny to watch the purses already jump up.
Yeah, like where'd they get the money?
That's kind of where my eyebrows are raised at the moment too. Is like the FedEx Cup already went up. What it jumped?
Well, I guess they're just taking the money from but the FedEx Cup. I mean, I guess I don't know if it's able to replace 8 events at $20 million apiece. That's $160 million.
Yeah, but at the same time too, like all of a sudden, like the purse for the U.S. Open, like I don't ever remember the purse in years past being
18 million. Yeah, the winner getting. Now that might have been TV deal, but yeah.
No, I meant like, from the U.S. Open this past weekend was what, 3.4 million.
That's what Fitz won. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's got to be higher than normal. Like to me, it's like obviously they don't
inflation, man.
They don't announce. Well, could be too, but like they don't announce a lot of these purses like until like the tournament actually starts, which is now it's like they're like kind of like we got to start pulling money from different avenues.
Which I'm curious how like inflating the cash in it. I just don't know how that'll happen or go about. But the interesting aspect to me is cool is you have this 50-player series now for a lot of money, but like, are you still going to come up with like a season-long champion? And then like, are these events going to start in August and basically go against football? And that was a big reason that they kind of moved the FedEx Cup up earlier to where they didn't have to compete with the NFL and college football. And now you're basically putting this product that is going to be this big money thing. And I saw a tweet from Kyle Porter. He goes, the interesting thing about this is the thing we'll care more about are the guys below battling for their cards than like the guys actually playing for this shit ton of money.
Right.
Which is true. Like, then there's also there's players who say, hey, like there's clearly 2 tours on the PGA Tour. There's the A Tour and the B Tour. And there's a significant difference.
Yep.
So like, then you have the Corn Ferry Tour, which is like now the C Tour, and you have the European. Like there needs to be some sort of system in golf where like maybe it is a relegation system, and I don't know how you go about doing it because a superstar can go from having a really good year to then the next year being in the shitter. But I don't know.
But like that's what makes that essentially makes what like some of these majors even more lucrative.
Yeah.
Is like you get a 5-year exemption at least into the majors,
Exactly.
or like I mean winning on tour in years past, like you get a victory on PGA Tour, like you get your 2-year exemption. So I mean, yeah, apparently the emphasis becomes on winning events.
Yeah, and I'm interested. I just don't like. It seems like they announced basically the exact same model, and there had been talk of like team stuff, which I'd want to see team stuff. I think it would be more interesting. That you just have to somehow find your way, like rooting and getting emotionally invested, which that's the hard aspect of it. I just it felt like, hey, we're just copying their model and we're gonna figure out these kinks, but this is what we're doing, which is good. At least they're announcing something, and I think we'll get more details tomorrow, and we'll obviously talk about it next week, but. That's what's going to happen. So Jay Monahan's going to be announcing that 1 p.m. Wednesday.